So, Theology on Thursday is really a podcast where I really wanted to move theology off the bookshelf and think about how we could apply it, impart it, if you will, into daily lives. I think sometimes the term itself is slightly maybe under appreciated and in some areas maybe not fully understood. And so people being able to live out their theology, being able to live out how they view God, how they relate with God, how they see themselves operating in a world where there exists a God who is not seen but is still present was something that I was looking to do. And I thought the best way to do this was probably in a podcast and bringing on some individuals who I believe would help viewers and listeners be able to see faith and life operate within the means of theology and really move within the construct of daily life. And so, theology on Thursday, I don't know how I got to Thursday. I think Thursday was just a day it matched. It could have been theology on Tuesdays, but theology on Thursdays really sounded good and decided that that was the best day to do this podcast. And again, it's not just about theologians and scholars, not necessarily even about pastors, but about people who really can help everybody apply their understanding of God, their experiences, their practices, and relay them in such a way where it helps everyday people begin to expand their own personal theology and their own expansion and their own development. So that's kind of what theology on Thursday represents and why we're doing it. It's interesting that I'm doing it. I have a background in media, radio, syndicated radio, television, and had not really moved into the realm of podcasting. It was something that I had not yet done, had talked about in my current role at Northern Seminary, producing a podcast for the Center for Black Church Studies, but hadn't done it yet. And so I thought, well, before I do it really at the seminary level, I probably need to do something for myself as a pastor and my immediate spiritual network and personal network. So for me, doing this is almost like coming back to media a little bit. But being a fifth generation preacher and being able to relate to people and meet people where they are, personal goal always of empowering the lives of people no matter where I am, has been something I've done my entire life. When I look back and really begin to review it. And so this is a wonderful way of doing that, combining really all of the callings, gifts, graces, and talents that God has given me, putting them all together in the midst of this podcast because I was I was the last one to the seminary party, if you will. It was something that I really wasn't trying to do. And it's funny now coming full circle how now, I work for a seminary, an instructor at a seminary. It's funny how God moves, and I'm certainly God does have a sense of humor in all of this. So being able to do this as part of a seminary, as a pastor, still operating in other realms, whether it's civic engagement or economic development, all of those things that I've been able to accumulate over the span of my life has been wonderful. Being a husband, being a dad, being a son, being a brother, being a cousin, just being who I am is what I bring. So I bring my full self. I've always brought my full self into anything that I've done. And I've always appreciated that from God telling me, Micah, bring your full self. Bring everything that you've experienced and every aspect of who you are into what you do. And I promise that I will bless you. And so this is a great time and a great experience for me, bringing in all the realms. of my existence, all of the aspects of my life into doing this podcast. And so it's Theology on Thursday. So it's going to be on Thursdays. Um, each episode will come out on Thursdays during this first season of September, October, and November. We look forward to all of the wonderful guests that we've got lined up and coming. I promise you, you are not going to be disappointed. Some of them really are almost like a personal eavesdrop into phone conversations that I have with some of these people. But every Thursday we'll drop a new episode, and it's just going to be a wonderful experience. You'll be able to catch it on all of your favorite podcast platforms, Apple and Spotify, and we'll also certainly have it will be available on YouTube channel, and we have a website, theologyonthursday.com. You can go there. You can go to my personal website, Dr. Micah Sims. You'll be able to find it there. And so I think this is just part of my own personal evolution in growing and developing and imparting those things that God has graced me to know and honestly still learning a number of these opportunities. I'm always learning. I'm always wanting to know more and to learn more. So and that's one of the reasons that I love this, because I get to be around people, whether in pastoring or whether working at the seminary, being part of a denomination, being part of a community, um, doing this podcast and interviewing people. The ability to be around other people and being able to hear their shared experiences that I know are certainly going to help those that are watching and listening to the podcast, but also it's going to help me. And so we're excited. Theology on Thursday debuts September 4th. Come on and be a part of it. I promise you, you won't be disappointed. Again, theologyonthursday.com. You can go to, and certainly feel free to share it with your entire network. You're going to hear me talk about this almost every episode. Share the gospel, share the good news of this podcast, and I promise that it will not only help you have a happy Thursday, I believe it's really going to help you have a happy life. And so I look forward to sharing in Theology on Thursday.